I'm always excited to be here with you and your followers. Thank you, Hector. Okay. Um, how are you guys, my friend? Tell me, how are you? A little bit busy. Fun. Let's see what to wear this morning. Okay. Maybe just something light. I'm not used to seeing you without earring and a necklace. 萤火是 live 哦 live. Yeah, this is live, my friend, as usual. So if you guys see me on Retinal, there's no way this is not live because I will be punished to play recordings, not live. Yeah, somehow they have those kind of rules that don't allow people to play recordings. So that's why, like, Leon, this is my very first time wearing this, my friend Yinghua. Yeah, probably you didn't really notice because yesterday it was like the sleeveless kind of shirt, but this one is different. Okay, even though both of them are white, because somehow people say that I look better in white. So, well, I personally also think I look better in white. I do like white, so that's why I'm wearing this. Yeah. Okay. All right. Seriously, I do feel like accessories are very important. The moment I start to wear accessory, I just feel like immediately I look so much more polished. Don't you guys feel? And a good accessory just makes you feel more confident. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good to go, my friend. Yeah. Like one final thing, which is allow me to set up my TikTok as well. Let me see if it's all set up. I think so. And once that's all set up, then we can be good to go. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, fantastic. Lovely. Okay. Yeah, you look beautiful in white. Thank you, my friend. All right. Okay, everything is set up. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, guys, as usual, okay? As usual. 里边说的都是英文吗？那你这边什么大哥？我们都是说中文，什么东西啊？暖心话看。Hello, may I ask a question about your laws, please? I'm from the UK. Or you can try Apple user because I'm not so sure if I can answer that. Like I need to see how specific you are about laws. Okay, like because I myself am not a lawyer. However, if there is some knowledge that I know, or there are people in this live stream that know about it, we can definitely ask them about it. Okay, so just keep on asking. How do you have the energy to do this in the morning? Admirable. Thank you, Polo. Yeah, just so you guys know, it's only 7:30, around 7:30. China time, 7:38 to be exact, China time. Okay, so people say that, okay, you do look very energetic, right? So, well, I guess like one of the secret of me being so energetic is just the live stream. So to be honest, when I first started a live stream, I don't look that energetic. When I just turn on the camera and start talking, it's just like so many people say you look like AI. And I feel like, yeah, I do need to practice on that to make people feel like I'm a real person. So somehow at the very beginning, I did it on purpose, like on purposely just trying to be more energetic and by trying to be more expressive and have more facial expressions when I talk. And somehow I feel like, by doing that, it's not only just make this live stream to be more interesting, but also I myself do feel the energy. I guess maybe it's just like how you want to boost, whether you want to boost up your energy when you talk. Like whether have you ever had this kind of experience when you just talk to someone, like being so excited about the kind of topic you talk, and all of a sudden you just don't want to sleep at all. Like you just got super excited. Those are kind of the kind of things I'm experiencing every morning. Like I just, just boost up my energy and try to be very excited talking to you guys. And the moment I start to do that, I just feel like the energy level is just going up and I just have so much energy. Yeah. 那个暖心花开，如果想要听的话，可以就是你可以下载有一个东西叫什么讯飞什么什么东西，它可以直接帮你翻译打字幕在屏上的，都是 AI 翻译软件，好吗？OK，可以听听练练英文呢，如果想练的话呀。OK，听得懂，但是说出来不好听啊，这个也 OK 的，你主要就是多练习，练着练着就 OK 了。Hello, my friend. Hi guys, follow me please, OK? Yeah. 你的口音为什么这么好？我觉得这一部分有一部分是天赋在，有一部分是努力。Yeah. Okay, it looks like we have some new like new guests in here. So for those of you who are new here, don't forget to follow me. Okay, definitely follow me. 别忘了关注一下我。And I noticed there are some like Chinese friends coming in and said that you probably don't speak English very well and that you probably don't really understand it at the very beginning. Just keep on staying in this live chat and just listen to me to talk. There are so many people who have said that at the very beginning they don't quite understand what I'm talking about. However, after a while, they started listening to it and somehow they consider it to be like one of the best podcasts, kind of even better than those kind of professional English podcasts. Somehow they consider it to be a very good, way of practicing like English. 小红书这边都是中国人，不是哦。麦克哈里斯不是哦。No. Oh, actually, let's do this for Mike Hadis. Because so there is one person asking whether on Red Note here, like everyone is just Chinese. We're only having Chinese crowd in here. So please, guys, on Red Note, oh, actually across the platform. So can every one of us just type in the comment, where are you from? Just say hello from where, okay? Just type in the comment area, say hello from where, and let's show 麦克哈里斯 how international this live stream is. Okay, how international, how like diversified people are in this live chat room. Okay, so everyone, please, in the comment, please just say hello from where. Okay, just tell Micah Halis like where are you from? Okay, hello from London. Hello, my friend from London, and hello from Europa. Hello from St. Lucia. Yeah, hello from UA. What is UA? USA. Hello from Canada. Like just say hello from where. Okay, let's just show Micah Halis how international this live stream is. Hello, my friend from Singapore. Yeah. Hello from Los Angeles. Yes. Wow, so many LA friends. Like there are like all together, like four all together. And here saying like hello from LA. Okay, just keep it going, my friend. Just tell like hello from where. Oh, we also have Denmark friend. Hello, hi, my friend from Copenhagen. Never been to Denmark, but that's definitely on my bucket list. I definitely want to go. Hello from Sydney. Yeah, good, good, all good. Hello from Mars. Oh my God. You see, by seeing you're Mars from Mars, you excited me, you know. Hello from Taiwan. Hello from USA. Hello from Peru. Yes, everyone, just keep on saying like where are you from? Just say hello from where in the comment so that we can show our new joiners how international this live stream is. Okay, I hope 麦克哈里斯 are you still there? 麦克哈里斯，你现在还在吗？你有看到评论吗？有看到大家在说自己在哪里吗？其实这儿真的有非常多的老外，有非常多的老外在这儿。Okay, hello from Northern Michigan. Hello from Washington State. We got aliens here. Yeah, we got so many friends, and we even have someone who claimed himself to be from Mars. Ni hao from Ukraine. Hello, hi, my friend from Ukraine. Hello from Canada. Okay, oh my God, that's so good. Like we have literally everywhere. So since I started a live stream, I have seen people from every continent in this world, like except North Pole and South Pole. So these are the South are Antarctic. These are the only 南极和北极. These are the only places I haven't seen people. That was Elon from Mars. Lovely. Yeah. So for sure, I have seen so many friends from USA, right? I feel like that is the biggest crowd. I've seen so many friends from USA, right? And different states inside the USA. And apart from that, I have also seen like so many friends from Europe, like different countries in Europe, right? Just today now there are friends from like Ukraine, from Denmark, right? Previously, also from London, right? UK, right? And so France, yeah. Like, do we have any more European friends in here? So definitely Italians, German, and so also Croatia, like so many other countries in Europe as well, and also African friends. So many African friends. Like we do have like we do have Jamaica friend. I remember like quite many Jamaican friends coming in here. And also, what else do we have? We also have like Middle East friends, right? South Arabian friends, also Indian friends, and also definitely Asian friends. Like it's definitely one of the most international live stream ever on different platforms. You do see like people from everywhere. So my friends here on Red Note, my Chinese friend, this is definitely not China only. Yeah. No friend from UK? There is. I'm pretty sure there are friends from UK. Yeah. Show of a hand. Is there any friends from UK here? Hello from Florida. Yeah. Yeah. Is there any friends from UK? I'm pretty sure there are lots of friends from UK as well in here because I do see people from UK a lot. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. There's a show of hands, Polo. Yeah, from UK. Fantastic. Yeah, there are definitely people from like everywhere. It's just like you just name it. You name a country, and we can have a try. So there is like a chance, like even if you name a country that is not so, like with big population, like big country, there's still a chance there might be someone from that country in this live stream. 老师好，你好，你好。Yeah, okay. This is definitely a very international live streaming chat room. Okay, guys, as usual, I'm new to this stream. What content do you do? Just Jeremy. So first of all, follow me, okay? This is definitely a very interesting live stream, okay? Just Jeremy. So, okay, to answer Jeremy's question, also to officially kick off this live stream. Welcome to the live stream. So, like, guys, usually we will start from this, okay? If you have any questions about China, just say the question, ask the question in the comment, okay? We usually will start in here because this is one of the most international live stream on the different platforms. So, like one of the biggest topic is always about cross-culture communication. There are people out there who are genuinely interested about China, and since I myself am a Chinese, 100% Chinese, okay, even though I do speak very good English, I am 100% Chinese. 这频道听不懂，走错地方。五月花，你可以用一下翻译软件就听懂了，OK？Yeah, so even though I do speak very good English, I am 100% Chinese. So I definitely do know a lot about China. And just test me, I do have a pretty, comparably speaking, pretty big knowledge base. I still trying to be humble, okay? Trying to be humble. So that's why I use comparatively speaking. I do have a big knowledge base, okay? So just shoot your questions. Shoot your questions in the comment area. Okay, Pierre, is that the right pronunciation of your name? That is pretty good question. I'm gonna elaborate on that question later. Okay, so let me, first of all, just finish the opening first. Okay, so that is the main purpose of this kind of this live stream. So we usually would start from this, like on this paper fan. If you have any questions about China, just shoot your question in a comment. Okay, we will start from there. And of course, if you have any questions about myself, about your country, and whether there is an interesting phenomenon in your country and you would like to see whether that kind of phenomenon also happened in our country in China, or you just want to talk to the people in a comment who are from other countries, that is fine. Okay, I frequently see people in the chat room in the comment area, like you guys just talk to each other. That is fantastic. Okay, Q&A, anything, exactly, Little Earth. Yes, anything. So that's how we usually start. Okay, so if you ask what is the main topic, the general topic is East versus West. Okay, since I'm from the East and there are so many people from the West, so this is about like East versus West. Okay, that is the biggest topic. However, every day, we just have so many to talk about. Every day there are just people raising all sorts of different questions, and we'll just start from there and just question by question, question by question. And also some people also commenting. There just becomes so many things we can talk about every day. So I've been doing this live stream since early February or late January, and it's been February, March, April, 3 months I've been doing it. Like 3 months, almost every day, nonstop. And still, like every day, we're talking about very different topics. Like since early February or late January, and it's been February, March, April. So as usual, like if you have any questions about China, like on this paper pen, any question about China Q&A, this is the moment. Okay, this is the time. You're gonna shoot your question into the comment area and we'll start from there. So the major topic of this live stream is about East versus West, the cross-culture communication for people who are genuinely interested about China or about what's going on for our Chinese people, like just ask the question. And also, like if you want to know anything about myself, could definitely ask it as well. And of course, if you have any opinions on certain matters that's going on in the world and want to see how Chinese people view it, and also any interesting phenomenon that is happening in your country, and you want to see how is that the same phenomenon happening in here in our country? Like just shoot the question in the comment. Okay, just shoot the question in the comment. Just test me, like see whether I'm able to answer all those tough questions. Okay, yeah, 안녕 my friend. Korean friends. Okay, so we have already seen so many questions. Why are the UK and USA so unaware of they lost 30 years ago by investing in wall rather than po? What is po, my friend? By investing in wall rather than in what do you mean by po, my friend? So I guess what you're saying is that instead of by initiating lots of the wars, like they should just doing something else, right? But I don't really understand what do you mean by po. So you have to elaborate a bit more on that so that I will I can then elaborate more on my opinions on that. Okay, well, China and the EU become closer. I think there's a chance, Noah. There is a chance of that. Yeah, I saw your question. Will China and EU become closer due to what's going on in this world, right? So I think like China and Europe, there's a chance that we will become closer. So 直播时间是什么？通常是早上的7点半到9点半，OK，早上的7点半到9点半的时间，中国时间早上7点半到9点半，OK。Yeah. So no, I'm just gonna elaborate a bit more on this topic, okay? If you look at this whole world, like all the countries are just like in daily lives. There is a saying that enemy's enemy is my friend. Have you guys heard of that? My enemy's enemy is actually my friend. So it's always like that. There is no such thing that someone is someone else's like alliance or like eternal alliance. There's no such thing. It's always based on, you know, interest, economic interest benefits, right? You guys understand that, right? I think for any adults, we understand that. If you look at all the countries, basically, like whether one country can be an alliance with another country is all based on like benefits. So if there is a benefit for two people to become alliance, they would just do that. If not, they just become enemy. It's always like that. So there's lots of going on. It's always the dynamics out there, right? So every country needs to survive. Just like every family, right? Every family needs to survive. Okay, we're just not gonna use the word country because that's considered to be quite sensitive. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the word family instead of that. Okay, so every family needs to survive, right? So it's for every family's ultimate goal to feed the members inside the family, the people inside the families, right? So that is the ultimate goal. So you would only be good, be kind to others on the condition that you have already feed your family. Even though there's someone you're very close to before, somehow that person is not helping you at all, is not making you having enough earning enough money to feed your family, or sometimes even hurting your family, then no matter how close you were with this person before, with that family before, you would just say goodbye to that person, to that family, and start to find someone else to form a good relationship with, someone who can actually help you, feed your family and make your family become better, right? So, 请问五一节快乐有几种说法呢？最简单就是 Happy May Labor Day，就这样就可以了。Happy May Labor Day, yeah, that's how they say it. Yeah. So nowadays, what you going on is that this is Uncle Sam is actually basically shooting everyone, right? Like just doing the equal thing to everyone, right? So well, not equal because they've been particularly hard on us. However, they are also pretty hard on their like some other members who used to be quite close to them. So somehow for those of the families who got hurt a lot by that, they would have to find new friends. By forming good friendship with new friends, by doing business with new friends, somehow they can have enough money to feed their family members. So that's basically what's going on. So I do think there is a chance that our relationship, China's relationship with Europe, will become better. Like more business will be going on. So for example, right now you would notice like a lot of the Chinese merchants are switching their major markets from USA to Europe. Europe is also a market with a lot of potential. There's so many European countries have like so many potential. You have a big consumer markets. And before, because USA is such a big market, so many merchants just focus on like the US, right? Because that is a big market. And people somehow they're American people are pretty well educated. They have higher willingness to pay. Okay, especially paying the premium. So USA has been treated as a major market for so many Chinese merchants. However, nowadays with going what's going on right now, like so many Chinese merchants have now switched their focus, their attention to Europe. And then somehow, that has brought lots of business opportunities to the European markets and also lots of opportunities for like ordinary like European people to enjoy like better goodies at a cheaper price from China. So that's basically what's going on right now. Okay. Yeah. So that's the first question. Let me see what's the other question we have before. I have a one question. I wonder if China will have a underwater subway. I think they can do it. Oh, that's pretty fancy. Like underwater subway. I don't think do we have underwater subway? I don't think we have underwater subway, but we do have like underwater tunnel, something like that, right? Like lots of like underwater tunnel is pretty like easily seen here. Like for example, in Shanghai, we have a big river which is Huangpu River, right? So the east side of Huangpu River is called Pudong, and the west side is called Puxi. If you want to go from Puxi to Pudong, in the old time you have to go across the bridge, right? And nowadays you can go under the tunnel and just go inside the tunnel, and you'll be able to reach the other side. So that is not. Wait. We actually, well, having said that, I think we do we have underwater subway? 我们中国有没有就是地下的这个就是水下的地铁啊？Do we have underwater subway? Wait. Do we have underwater subway? I think we do. I just don't somehow I just feel like somehow someplace in my memory I feel like we do have that. I just don't really remember where. Yeah, I think we do. 有在哪里啊？能不能提醒我一下？中国有没有水下的地铁在哪里啊？武汉有. Oh, okay. Someone said like in Wuhan we do have like underwater subway. Like in Wuhan, like China in Wuhan, it has underwater subway. Okay, that is like very very interesting. 哈尔滨也有. Okay. Oh, okay. 青岛也有. Oh, okay. There's so many cities in China that has like underwater subway. Well, I don't know about it because in Shanghai we don't have that. Perhaps in your dream. No, no, no. There are so many Chinese people really living in the comments saying that in China, in various cities, it's not just in one city. There's someone saying that in Qingdao, in Wuhan, in Harbin, like in all those different cities, there are just subways underwater. Yeah, yeah. To be honest, technologically, that is not a like a very hard technology. Like I'm pretty sure China can do that, like just by building under the water subway. Like we have already we have already achieved that kind of technology. Yeah, to build underwater like subways. Yeah, yeah. Hedja, thank you. Yeah. Wait, you changed your name, Hector. You changed your name back to Hedja. Should I just call you Hector or should I call you Hedja? Which one do you prefer? Yeah, yeah. So we do have that. Okay, guys. Yeah. Let's see. Let me see what other question. Oh, okay, this is a big question. Is there a homeless people in China? So the thing is that I have previously made a post. If you guys haven't checked that post, definitely check that post. Okay. So in China, we don't have homeless people, to be honest. Like I don't see any homeless people for sure in Shanghai. And it's also like pretty rare for you to see homeless people in other cities in China as well. China has like a very rare homeless people problem. Before it was not like that. Before it was not like that. Before China do have homeless people a lot. However, over the past decades, China's economy has grown for so much, right? And we stopped have those homeless people problems. And we have like a lot of like societies like welfare system to support all the homeless people. So if you find someone who are sleeping on the street has no place to go, well, you could actually help them by just ringing the policeman. And there's actually, those kind of shelters specifically designed, built for homeless people. Yeah, specifically built for those homeless people. So I think for homeless people, they themselves also know that even though they don't have a home to live, there are places for them to go to, built by government, um, like officially just for people, for homeless people to sleep at, so that in the night you don't see any people sleeping on the street, because all of them just have a place to stay in. Yeah, and also, um, yeah, and also like, well, we also provide. I heard that also provide lots of support to them. For example, there's a reason why people would become homeless, right? So once people become homeless, they also provide lots of support. For example, training courses for you to pick up skills, right? For example, I remember online I saw a story that's about the homeless, and somehow he got some training by attending some of the courses designing by here, right? And somehow like he was able to learn how to make milk tea, and later on even opened a milk tea store and was able to become a boss himself and earn a pretty good living and had a pretty good family. Yeah, so because usually why people would become homeless is because of something really bad that happened to their life. And just like yesterday when I first started my live stream, right? Some just problems just happens, and one problem after one problem after one problem. So yesterday, like we started a live stream and we started all over again like 5 times, and then we started a live stream, right? It's just like one problem started, like all of a sudden you just have so many other problems coming in at the very same time. So life is the same, right? Maybe something bad happened to you, like so many other bad things just happen in the row, and just beat you to a moment that you just become, you just cannot escape from this vicious cycle. So at that point, some people just become homeless, and it really needs a helping hand. They really need a helping hand from somewhere just to pull them from this vicious cycle. Just once like one thing good happened to them, and some other things will just happen to them. One more thing better happened to them, one more thing happened to them, and then eventually the life will become better. 大哥，我像听书一样，也听得不走，妥妥的铁粉，很好，非常好，五月花坚持哈。那为啥叫我大哥啊？但也不要叫我大姐，千万别叫我大姐哈。相比于大姐，我还是 prefer 你叫我大哥。Yeah, yeah. Let me see. They become homeless in the city after migrating from rural areas, even though they still have a home back in the countryside. What are you talking about? 淘气 Let me see. Yeah, 我喜欢你的内容，微笑、真诚、真实，切中要点。Okay, thank you, Chopper. Thank you, Chopper, for this very sweet comments. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, so Heje is pronounced like Hoya. Oh, okay, it's pronounced as Hoya. Am I right about that? Hoya? What does Hoya mean? Yeah, because you said your real name is Hector, right? What does Hoya mean? Yeah. Hi, my friend from Great Britain, from GB, Great Britain. Yeah, good to see you. Lagging? Is it not lagging now? Yeah. I can simplify the world with all these problems because what took place a very long time ago. Yes, sort of agree with you because history just repeat itself, right? From time to time, history just repeat itself. Yeah. Okay, let's see what's the other things. Yeah, what are the things? Yeah, what are the conditions for migrant workers? Well, to be honest, like right now, I think there is a lot of discussion here like about like migrant workers, like one of the biggest opportunity is about like how to do business with migrant workers. Okay, so like China has experienced a pretty long time of like migrating workers from rural areas to cities. Okay, so every year you see so many people just migrating from like rural area cities to like relatively city center kind of cities, because I have shared that before, like in Chinese mindset, like Chinese people always feel like, like we need to be very hardworking. It's very important to earn enough money, right? So that we can provide a better living standards for the families. It's rooted in the Chinese mindset. That's also because like over the past 3 decades, we have experienced lots of economic growth in China. And those kind of economic growth has also helped people to form the mindset that I want to be rich. I want to earn a good living. Okay. And also because like over the past 3 decades, we have experienced lots of economic growth in China. And those kind of, you're poorer than someone. That's what make you unhappy, right? So when China started to have this economic growth, this very fast speed economic growth, some people just become richer at the very beginning, right? So like there's a saying like back then when Deng Xiaoping was in here and said that we need to grow the economy of China, and that's why like we need to allow some people to get rich first. And somehow some people become rich and the economy starts to grow. And eventually what happens is some people, by being very hardworking, by being very smart, they find the business opportunities here in the market in China, and somehow they're able to become very rich. So when that happens, you know, and somehow like everyone just feel like, okay, if someone is becoming rich by being working so hard, by finding some good opportunities, then I maybe should do that too. Okay, so that's why like I previously have taught foreign people, like when you come to China, one of the greetings you need to learn is not ni hao, which means hello, or xie xie, which means thank you. You should actually just learn like 恭喜发财, right? Because Chinese people all love hearing that. That one means that greetings means that I wish you have a good fortune. I wish you become rich. Because Chinese people, everyone just dream of becoming rich every day, right? No talk, right? Yeah. So by that, what happened is like everyone just worked extremely hard. And by that, like everyone would just think about, okay, what are the ways I can become rich? What are the cities I can go to earn more living, right? And then some people started to think and really start to try. For example, some people from the rural areas, they start to migrate to cities like Shanghai, like Beijing, or inside provinces. If they are from relatively rural area, then they will want to move to the capital of the province, like to find better job opportunities. Because when you move to a place in the city that has higher economic GDP, well, something like that, right? Then there's a chance that you work in the same city, even though you're doing the very same job, but you're just earning a higher salary. So I have shared before, right? For example, even though Hong Kong and Shenzhen are just like 15 minutes, 20 minutes by train, but the salary level between two cities are completely different, right? I shared before that I did a business trip to Hong Kong. And somehow, like in Hong Kong, in their subway, and they're underground, they also have like small restaurants that is hiring. And for that small restaurant they're hiring, yeah, yeah. Hoya. Well, actually I should just call you Hector. That is easier. Yeah, thank you, Hector. Yeah, guys, just read Hector's message on Red Note. So that is my website that I just recently launched. So for American friends or for everyone, you can just check this website. Okay, that is the website that is selling the accessories I'm currently wearing. Definitely a very lovely website. Definitely go check it. Okay, guys, everyone, pay attention to Hector's or Hoya or Hedges comment. Okay, yeah, 恭喜发财. No talk, you're terrific. Yeah. So like you start to see so many people migrating from relatively rural area to cities that is considered to be more developed. And I said that 你是不是在纽约？不在纽约哈，我很久以前只是在纽约待过很短的时间也没有在纽约长时间待过，所以应该不是你认识的人。Okay, yeah. So like yeah, where were I? Yeah. Oh, okay, right. So I said I did a business trip to Hong Kong, and I noticed that even Hong Kong and Shenzhen are just 15 or 20 minutes by train, but the salary level between two cities are completely different. So, for example, when I first reached Hong Kong and got into their subway, an area, and there was like restaurants, small restaurants in there that was hiring, and they show the kind of salary they were willing to pay to have a manager and a waiter, waitress to work inside the small restaurant in the subways in Hong Kong, right? And the kind of annual salary back then I saw is around definitely over, it's almost like 20,000 Hong Kong dollars, okay? 一个月差不多2万港币, almost 20,000 Hong Kong dollars. And in US dollar term, that is, let me do a calculation. In US dollar term, that is that is around 2,500, 2,500 US dollars. So that is for the salary level for the kind of manager job in Hong Kong. Okay. And then, however, in Shenzhen, which is only 15, 20 minutes away by train, okay? Only 20 minutes away by train, in its very own subway, in the very same similar kind of small restaurants under in the subway of Shenzhen, the salary is like half. Well, even like one third compared to the kind of salary that you can earn in Hong Kong. So, like, yes, it's 25,000, 2,500, like 2,500 US dollars to work in a small restaurant to earn monthly salary in a small restaurant in Hong Kong. However, in Shenzhen, I remember back then I saw the kind of manager role. The annual salary for a manager role is only like 7,000还是5,000 if you divide it, it's only less than 1,000. Okay, less than 1,000 monthly salary for a manager role to work in the subway and the restaurant and subway in Shenzhen. And you can see like for different cities, right? Hong Kong, Shenzhen, 20 minutes away. But here, this job is the very same type of job. like would pay you 20 2,500 US dollars per month, and here is less than 1,000. So that's why like so many people they start to see that. Oh, they start to see, for example, there as long as there's one person like trying to migrate from the rural areas to the city, they start to see, oh, okay, yeah, wow, you know what? By working in that city, even though that is not far away from my hometown, I can earn so much more, like twice more the money I can make in my hometown. Why don't I just migrate to that city and work there, right? Well, maybe I can just leave my family back in the hometown, living there, and I'm just going out and migrate to another bigger city that I can earn much more money. And by earning a lot of money, I can just then send the money back to the city to my family so that I can have a better living. So, that's why Little Earth is exactly right. So nowadays you see so many people what they would do. For example, for Shenzhen, people in Shenzhen, many of them would then just, work in Hong Kong because the salary is so much higher in Hong Kong and they live in Shenzhen, right? For example, some people would just live very close to the train station so that every day they just take the 15, 20 minutes train to commute from Shenzhen to Hong Kong and they work in Hong Kong, right? They just need to have to wake up earlier and then, just catch the train from Shenzhen to Hong Kong and they're earning like twice the salary there in their city, in that city, right? And then in the evening, they would return to Shenzhen and enjoy the lower cost. So that's what you see many Shenzhen people would do. And also from Hong Kong people's perspective, right? For local Hong Kong people, you will start to notice also a very interesting phenomenon, which is so many Hong Kong people would actually during the weekends go to Shenzhen specifically for doing what? For shopping. Yeah, for shopping. How much you win as a salesman in China? What do you mean by how much you win as a salesman? Like what do you mean by win as a salesman? Yeah. Yeah, 过来过节和周末，对吧? Yeah, 是的. Yeah. So like you start to see all those very interesting phenomenon. Like there are even some people doing this kind of business. What kind of business? Cross-border commerce. Cross-border commerce. And like the kind of cross-border e-commerce I'm doing now, there are people you would notice that is at the custom of Shenzhen, Hong Kong. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, like even though Hong Kong is part of China, however, Hong Kong previously was leased to Great Britain, so that's why like Hong Kong has a very different system than mainland China. So for all the mainland Chinese people, if we go to Hong Kong, we actually need a visa, a Hong Kong visa to go to Hong Kong. Okay. What we call it is Hong Kong Macau travel permit, something like that. We do need a visa for mainlanders to go to Hong Kong. Like vice versa, for Hong Kong, they also need a visa to come into mainland China. Okay, so that's like that. So that's why like between Hong Kong and mainland China, there's actually a custom. Okay, so there are people specifically working. They just stay very close to the custom and they do the cross-border commerce by doing what? So there are people just would form some chat groups. They would collect all the orders requirements from all the orders from like Hong Kong. So there are many Hong Kong people, they want to buy stuff at a very cheap price in Shenzhen. However, they're just lazy. They just don't want to just travel from Shenzhen to Hong Kong themselves, right? Maybe because over the weekends they have lots of schedules. They have a lot of Hong Kong parents can be the kids in Shenzhen. You're so funny. No talk. Yeah. So they have a lot of things they want to buy because like Hong Kong is expensive. However, just one city away, like 20 minutes away, like Shenzhen is just like way cheaper, right? So there are so many groups out there in Hong Kong, like people just join those kind of chat group. And there are specifically people helping those people to buy the stuff in Shenzhen, right? For example, if you want to buy something, a microwave here in Hong Kong is very expensive, then you could just ask someone who buy a microwave and that person's just going to carry a microwave from Shenzhen to Hong Kong and bring it to your home. You just have to pay an extra fee to this person. So, like after paying that extra amount of fee compared to the price you buy directly in Hong Kong, that is considered to be cheaper. Okay. Yeah. So that's like someone even doing business like that. Okay. So that's why like nowadays you do see like lots of people like migrating from different cities for different purposes, right? That's the whole purpose is about making more money. Okay. I hope my answer really makes sense. Yeah. Hong Kong was British. Yeah, it was British. It was given back after 什么 making it special. What are you saying? Yeah. Let me see. Okay, so a bit more about this history. So for those of you who don't know, so Hong Kong has always been part of China until Qing Dynasty. during late Qing dynasty, because China has so many dynasties, right? One of the dynasty is Qing dynasty. And Qing dynasty is the last monarchy dynasty in China's history. So after Qing dynasty, China no longer become a monarchy country, okay? So like during the Qing dynasty, it was at the very end of Qing dynasty, the whole country was like so corrupted and was so like lagged behind when it comes to technology development, economic development, right? And everything was so corrupted. So that's why, like back then in Qing Dynasty and late Qing Dynasty, compared to the rest of the whole world, everyone was developing so fast, right? Especially in the West, right? In, for example, UK after experienced its industrial revolution, like the country of Great Britain was just like, oh my God, the biggest one, right? No one was able to beat it. So that's why, like, all those like really strong countries, they start to expand their territory across the globe, right? They started to see, okay, what are the areas I can just put my flag on? I can just colonize this area, right? So that's why they come to Asia and also start to look at China. And of course, China back then in late Qing dynasty was not strong at all. Like, it was pretty weak country. So there's no way we will be able to fight back, fight against the Great Britain. So what happened is that in the late Qing dynasty, the governor of the Qing dynasty then negotiated a deal with UK and say, okay, please don't beat me. Don't beat me. I'm just gonna do one thing, which is lease a city called Hong Kong to you for 99 years. Okay, for 99 years. So that's why from the late Qing dynasty, after 99 years till the year 1997, Hong Kong was then, after the lease stopped, was able to return to China. Okay. So I'm so glad that back then, even though it was considered to be quite shameful that, we have to lease our like piece of land to another country for free, just in exchange for the condition that we are not going to be invaded from other country. Somehow I'm glad that we leased it. We did not sell it. Okay. So I understand from people in my live stream, from like so many American friends specifically, that like many people taught me before, that lots of the land currently in the United States were actually you know, was sold by Mexico. So previously, lots of the land like California, like Texas, like Arizona, all those areas used to be Mexico. Somehow Mexico just sold those land to America and to become part of Americans' land nowadays, right? So I'm very glad that back then in China, we did not sell Hong Kong to Great Britain. 时不时就刷到这个超级像妮妮的姐姐，你有关注我吗？有关注我吗？可可是地壳的壳。俏巧是地壳的壳啊，俏巧，你有关注我吗？关注一下我啊。Okay, follow me, please, guys, if you haven't done so. Okay, great, fantastic. Okay, let's go. Yeah. So basically, it was stolen, intimidation. Well, I think so. You can actually interpret it in that way. So I feel like if you say it's stolen, I think yes, you can say so. So it was like, so that's why like I feel like, so that's why like China has been focusing a lot about teaching its people about what happened in history. 墨西哥没有卖地，是战败割让。对，是战败，但是他们用的是"卖"这个词。Okay, let me ask you guys. Okay, so for my American friends in the live chat room or Mexican friends, so Mexican friends and American friends. Okay, we need some clarification on this part of history. So, what back then did Mexico sell all those land to USA, or it was just given to USA for free? It was so for example, people told me that, for example, for California, for Texas, like those are the areas that back then that belonged to Mexico, right? But they were sold to USA. So someone said that it was so okay, I know it's for sale, for sure it's for sale, right? Otherwise, like no country would want to just sell their piece of land to other countries, right? No one want to do that. I know it for sure it's forced, but my question is forced sell or it's forced give, right? Do they sell? Do they actually is there a sell, like a selling process, or it's just given for free, right? Yeah, I know. Back then, like Russia also did that because Alaska back then was Russia, right? Alaska was Russia and was also forced sell to America, right? So yeah, after Mexican American War, yeah, but it was like it was sell, right? Yeah. Is sexism or significant problem in China? What is sexism, my friend? Noah, what is sexism? Yeah, what is sexism? I have no idea what sexism means. Can you elaborate more on that? Yeah. Yeah. So Yeah, so that's also like the okay, Mexico was not sold. Wait, I mean like California, like Texas, those are those land where they sold to USA, like forced sold to USA. Yeah. Oh, okay, Noah. Yeah, yeah, we can definitely elaborate on that. Yeah, just stay in the live chat room, Noah. I'm gonna elaborate on that, okay? After we finish this topic. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait, I don't think Alaska was forced. Okay, so Alaska was not forced sale. Alaska was actually just willingly sold by Russia to America. Okay. Hmm. Well, okay, not so familiar with about that part of history. Okay, my friend, not so familiar with the part of history. So back to the Chinese history. Okay, so back then what happened is that well, I'm glad that we did not sell, for being for sell some part of the land to some other countries. Basically, what did we did back then was lease. So it's part of, I guess back then was Chinese wisdom also did not sell any piece of land. Yeah, so that's why like you know Chinese people also learned extremely hard from the history that if your country is left behind, then other countries will just take advantage of that, will just come to see if there is any piece of your land that they can take away from you. So that's why that back then, up till now today, like China has actually been focusing a lot on how to educate its people. You have to learn from the history, and like we need to just grow the country to be stronger so that we will not be having this kind of same thing happening all over again. Yeah. Macau and Hong Kong is China. So they are China. Do you understand? Yeah, what yeah. China is going to be the most powerful country in 1 year. Mark my words. Okay, I'm glad you think so. Yeah. So, part of Arizona was sold by the Mexican government to the USA in the Gaston purchase. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. China goes going to be amazing. I'm so glad you're so many of you guys are really loving China, are really loving China. Yeah. So okay, guys, again, like Hong Kong is part of China now. Before it was colonized by UK. Okay, because like back then what happened is, well, also after war, after some war, right? We said that, okay, we're just going to lease the land to you. Okay, we did not say we're going to sell this land to you, but we're going to lease the land to you for free, for use of that piece of land for 99 years. So after the 99 years, the land was just returned back to China. So that's basically what happened. So like in Arizona, yes, Arizona has been part of USA, but it belongs to Latinos. Okay. New Zealand support Chinese. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, okay. The Mexican session was a forced sale for $15 million. Yeah, I feel like everything was a forced sale, but it was a sale. It was not like given for free, right? It was not a gift for free. Everything was just a forced sale, right? So it definitely like some money happened. It's just like the land was sold at a very cheap price. But like the concept of lease and sell is like very different, right? Once you sell everything, then like you no longer own it, right? Lease is very different. Like lease, like after 99 years, okay, we're just gonna take this piece of land back. So 404, the answer to the question is yes. Yes, it has always been part of China. It's just that historically speaking, there are just two parties in China, Kuomintang and 共产党. So this is also considered to be a very, very important part of history. So you would notice there are so many Chinese drama that played stories that actually actors played the story about this part of history, right? So what eventually happened is, for the other party, that was not the governing party right now, right? So they lost the war and they retreated to eventually to that island, and that's why what happened nowadays. Still, for a lot of people inside the island, still consider themselves to be part of China. So that's what happened. Okay, yeah, yeah. So Rift plus Decay, that is correct. That is direct. Yeah. The Brits wanted to play their game. In return, they owned Hong Kong. Yeah, so that's what happened. Yeah. Is it because of the large population? What do you mean by is it because of the large population? Yeah. Yeah. Polo, you're right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So Frederick Tago, right? So that is considered to be a very sensitive topic. So I cannot talk about openly. Okay. So I cannot talk it about openly. So I actually have already talked about it using the word island. I did not mention about the name. So definitely for every Chinese and even for the major quite a lot of population, a lot of people on that island. They also consider that, everything should be just one country. Okay, everything should just be one country. Okay, it was just because of the history reasons, right? In history, there were two parties like fighting each other. There was a domestic war, right? Just like the domestic war that used to happen in the US, right? North and Western, North and Southern war, right? In China, we also had those kind of very similar kind of domestic war between two parties. And when you had a war, for sure there would just be one party win eventually, right? So the losing party would just then say, okay, I'm going to retreat until they retreated to that island. And because that the island is an island, there's a sea between this island and the mainland, right? And back then, what happened is American troops just came in and stopped, you know, people, the other party, the winning party, to go from mainland to that island. So what happened is that, one party is here and the other party is there. And somehow the losing party was affected greatly by the Western kind of way of ruling. So they started to introduce lots of like modern kind of systems. So somehow there's lots of going on that island, right? So the losing party then no longer become the ruling party later on that island. So like lots of different voices coming out on that island. So some people would start to say like, oh, okay, no, we're not part of China, something like that. So that's what's going on. However, if you look at the history, if you look at what happened back then, and you look at now, and you listen to some people there, you will notice that like it's still a major stream, a major voice, that everything here is just a whole China. Okay, it's just a whole China. Okay, yeah. So, okay, unfortunately, media in Europe misleads the public about China and paints them as enemies. Yes, I know. Like, ever since I started a live stream, I have been able to meet so many people from the West, no matter it's in the US or in the Europe. And it's so funny. It's also sometimes just make me speechless that how this media out there could just depict China to be such an evil country. And well, either they just depict China to be a very poor country or to be a very evil country. Chinese people are just like treat you guys as an enemy. Like none of these are true. None of these are true. Okay. So honestly, like when I first started the live stream, I was like very from time to time, I just got so pissed off very often because there are like so many people that just come in and asking extremely ridiculous kind of questions, and sometimes some questions are considered to be quite rude. And then later on, like I was not pissed off because I understand it was not because those people are just trying to be rude deliberately, or they just want to humiliate me by asking those questions. It's really just because they got educated like that, right? There's so many propagandas out there that was depicting China as a country that we are not. And then later on, like I realized, okay, they're just genuinely interested in knowing more about China. Well, they did not know the truth about China, the true side of China, like how amazing this country has already become. So that's why they are ask all those like very ridiculous kind of questions. So somehow I was able to answer all those questions and trying to rebuild a very authentic, true image of China to all those people around the world. So I think that is something good about it. Yeah. To pull people out of all the lies. Yeah. Are all the lies. Yeah. I like China. Wish it was visa free for us Swedes. Wait. Also, it is. It is like our. If you are from Sweden, well, actually, you can come to China visa free. Yeah, so like since December last year, China has introduced this visa-free policy to 58, 54 or 58 countries. So Sweden is definitely it's definitely in one of the country lists. I'm pretty sure about that. So what you can do is definitely go check my one of the video I posted. Okay, there is a video I posted before, and inside that video, I've actually listed out all the countries that's eligible for this visa-free visit to China. Okay, so there's something called transit visa, and there's also something called 30-day visa free visit. Okay, so some countries they fall into the category of transit visa only. Some countries would fall into both transit visa and 30-day visa free visit. Okay, so for those transit visa countries, you basically just buy a ticket and come to China directly, and as long as you just prove to the Chinese customs that you're not making China your final destination, you just travel to other cities afterwards, then that is fine. Yeah, that is fine. And they would just let you to they would just let you to travel in China 10 days for free. Yeah, so come to China. Xinjiang is visa free for 2 weeks. I plan to visit there next year. Your WhatsApp group is great. Thank you, Rich. I'm glad you're in my WhatsApp group. Yeah. So Xinjiang, well, Xinjiang, the visa policy about Xinjiang might be a bit different. So you have to really study that. Okay, you have really to study that before going to there. So the visa policy in some areas in China are like stricter compared to the rest part of China. For example, Tibet and Xinjiang. So definitely study about the visa policies in those areas before coming. Okay. Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Okay. Follow me, please, if you haven't done so. Okay. If I go to China and talk about I would get deported right away. No, 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 you won't. You won't. No, 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 it's not like that, okay? It's never not like that. Okay? You can still come in here and talk about it. It's just that just don't be how to say? Just don't overly do it. If you talk about on the street, talk to people about that, that's fine, okay? Just talk about that. Just don't just say something that is like too bad on social media, okay? Then well even you do that the only consequence you would face is like your account will be banned. There's nothing like you will be deported from the country. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, it's not like that, my friend. You guys you know had this very kind of impression that we are a pretty like highly censored country. It's not up to that point. It's not up to that point. Okay, it's not like that. It's not like that. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so guys, follow me, please, okay? Yeah, it's not like who makes China their final destination. Yeah, I mean, like you guys can do what you know. So for those of you who want to travel to China, there's one thing you can do is make Hong Kong your final destination. Just fly directly from your country to one city inside mainland China. For example, just fly your country, fly from your country to Beijing, Shanghai, those kind of cities, right? And just play in China, just travel in China for around, let's say, 10 days, okay? Because that's the maximum kind of time you can stay in mainland China using the transit visa, okay, for 10 days. And last day, on the very last day, just go to Hong Kong and spend several days in Hong Kong and then go back to your country. So by doing that, you actually have a very comprehensive kind of China trip travel because Hong Kong is also part of China, right? But like I said, because Hong Kong has a different system from China, so making Hong Kong your last destination, you're also transiting in mainland China, okay? So you can just say like, okay, you know what? I'm transiting in mainland China because I'm going to Hong Kong after visiting mainland China. I'm making Hong Kong to be my final destination. So by doing that, you are having a whole trip in China and still like you're using the visa free kind of yeah. Hold up, I only get 10-day visa in a country the same size of the US. Well, so Canada, what you can do is apply for a visa if you intend to stay longer. So if you're America, if you intend to stay in China longer, you could actually just apply for a visa. That is like very easy to apply. It's not very hard to apply, okay? It's easy to apply, and once you have applied it, you could actually have like a 10-year visa. You can have a 10-year visa. We have a 10-year visa, and like during every stay, you can stay for like 30 days, I think. You can stay for like 30 days. Yeah, I have previously looked up this visa policy because so many people ask about that. So that's what you can do. Yeah. However, if you want to visit China using the visa free kind of thing, then it's only like 10 days. Okay. Fox Vendetta, I need you to open your eyes, okay? I need you to open your eyes. Stay in this live stream for longer, okay? There are people out there who are passionate about their country and who want to just start a live stream to share things about they know about their country, to welcome people from all over the world to visit their countries. You know, you don't need to be with working in government to do a live stream, right? So open your eyes, be more open-minded, okay? Be more open-minded, my friend, whose name is called Fox, okay? Be more open-minded. You can see plenty of people, like different sorts of people. There are people just like me, okay, who can speak very good English, who are very patriotic, very passionate about my country. And I feel like there are people out there who are genuinely interested in knowing more about China, right? Who wants to see China because China has become a very amazing country, one of the biggest country in the world, right? When it comes to so many different folds, when it comes to technology, when it comes to economy, when it comes to so many other areas, right? So people are genuinely interested in knowing more about China. So that's why there are content creators like myself who are here who don't earn money from it, just doing it for personal interest, for personal passion, just want to show the whole world what China is like. Okay, and answer all the questions to clear all the misunderstandings, right? So, like, I don't work for the government and I don't get paid to do this live stream. Okay, I have emphasized multiple times. So the fact that you see someone out there who are sharing something nice about the country does not mean that this person is doing that, you know, like you said. So just be open minded, okay? Just be open minded, my friend. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nytrix is also the tourism promotion ambassador now. Yeah, sure. I do want to have more foreigners come in China. Yeah. So, the thing is that, people need to come to here to see everything with your own eyes before you come to a conclusion about many things. Like lots of people just jump to the conclusions too quickly by listening to their media. Like you have to know, like lots of people just share many things on media for their own purposes, right? Sometimes if those purposes are like in line with their interests, they're happy to lie about many things. They're happy to lie about many things, right? Yeah. So, for example, the biggest boss out there in Uncle Sam's country, right? This orange dude, like he basically just lied about everything, right? So the other day I saw another content creators made a post just saying like, you know what, so this orange juice just posted a Twitter and showed some photos of those like rubbish on the beach and said that was all sent by China. And later on, those people started to research on those photos and notice those are photos taken like so long time ago, like many years ago, and those are not America at all. And this orange juice was saying that, oh, you know what, those garbage on those beach were sent by China, and and like he's basically just lying. Yeah, those photos are even photoshopped. Those photos are even photoshopped. And he was saying like, those are all done by Chinese people, and we're like, there's a saying in China like 说谎都不打草稿. He didn't even drop it when he was lying. All lying, and I can't even imagine that was like the biggest boss of this country and like lying, openly lying, and there was no one truth that's coming out of the person. Wait, is honesty considered to be a virtue? Is honesty considered to be a virtue in your country, my friend? Because in China, like we educate our kids that like you have to stick to so many virtues, and honesty should be one of the biggest virtue that people should have, right? Honesty, being humble should be a great virtue. And what are your boss doing? Your boss is doing is basically just showing your people that honesty should not be considered to be a virtue. Like everyone should just lie. Everyone should just lie. I mean, like, oh my god. Yeah, to be honest, like if we have a boss like that here, like we would just look down upon that person. Yeah. Yeah, and guys, follow me, please. Okay, follow me, please. Yeah. 这是哪一个国家的华裔啊？不是华裔，就中国人，卓一航，就中国人，土生土长中国人啊，100%中国人。Yeah. Actually, China took most of the plastics from USA for recycling. Oh, really? Salty? Yeah, really salty candy? You like salty candy? Yeah. Well, actually, I'm not so sure about that. I don't have the data about that. If that is true, China actually took most of the plastic from USA for recycling. That is terrific. Well, as a matter of fact, China would do a lot of those kind of things. I wouldn't think that is not true. I think there's a chance that it's true because like by recycling all the plastic, that's gonna, make lots of money, then Chinese people would do that, right? By recycling all the kind of plastics and remanufacture them into some goodies, then and that helps Chinese people make money, then Chinese people for sure would just do that. Yeah. How do you say I like your hair in Chinese? 我喜欢你的发型。我喜欢你的发型。Thank you. Ribbons? Are these two ribbons? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and welcome, ribbons. Yeah, but stopped because the plastic was overwhelming. So China stopped in 2018. Oh, interesting to know. Interesting to know about this plastic. Yeah. Alchemia.love. Yes. Okay. So everyone, please see Hoya, Hedja, Hector's note, comment, and the live stream. So that's a personal website I launched. Okay. So this website is called alchemia.love. And it would be great that guys, you can just have a check of this website. Okay. This is my personal website. On this website, I am showing lots of the accessories that I'm wearing during the live stream. If you think these accessories are beautiful, like make me look elegant, it's gonna make you elegant as well. Okay, it's although Mother's Day, these are gonna consider to be good Mother's Day's gift. Okay, so for friends, you guys can go to this website called alchemia.love. Okay, alchemia.love. Can you guys see it? It's called alchemia.love. Just go to this website. Wait. It should be the other way around. Sorry about that. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, should be this alchemia.love. Just go to this website and check all the stuff I have out there. Okay, just check all the stuff out there. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna find so many lovely stuff out there. Okay, yeah, and it's free shipping, free shipping. Accessories, beautiful accessories. Yeah. Okay, USA only has one rival really, and it's the EU because EU can match America from technology to GDP. Okay, well, you know what? I'm glad you think so, because China never want to be treated as a rival. We want to be treated as a partner, as business partner, treated as an ally. Never wanted to be treated as a rival. So the USA just approved for sewage to be in drinking water. Sorry for what happened. Do you have Instagram? Yes, Alexandra A. Yes, Alexandra. Yes, I do. I do have Instagram. So my Instagram is very same. It's called Nytrix, but Nytrix underscore A. Okay, Nytrix underscore A. I'm gonna show you. Okay, that's my Instagram. Let me show you my Instagram so that you can find it. Yeah. So this Instagram. Yeah. Previously have write it down. It's here. Okay. It's this one. Okay. Nitrous underscore A. Nitrous underscore A. So that's my Instagram account. Okay. Just go out there, search for that. And that is my Instagram account. Okay. You'll be able to find me with the very same profile photo. Okay. With the very same profile photo. Yeah. Not allowed sewage, just testing. Okay. So my friend, so Soti Candy said it's not allowed. It's just testing. Wait. Do many people still follow Chinese folk much after cultural revolution? Yeah, so well, not follow. It's more about like okay, so like we're not a religious country, okay? So over 90% of people are just non-religious. It's just that like lots of people in here, like we are superstitious. So people would go to temple a lot. Well, even though people don't practice Buddhism, if you practice Buddhism, you have to eat vegetarians, you become like vegetarians like every day, right? However, like majority of the people here are not vegetarian. People still like eat everything. However, we would go to a temple to pray to the Buddha. Hey, please bless me, okay? Please bless me to have more money. Bless me to get to the best university, to get a job. You know, that is more like it's a superstitious. However, like people would just do that. Okay, yeah. So yeah. Happy to meet an intelligent woman. Happy to meet you, my friend. Yeah. And guys, follow me, please. Do you do the live during the May Day holiday? I think so. No talk. I think so. I will do it. However, I might just take some day off. Really depends, because there is a plan that I plan to go to义乌我这个长假五一长假打算去义乌看一看，打算去义乌看一看，所以到时候看一下，如果说时间和精力允许的话，我还是会继续去开直播的。如果时间精力不允许的话，那可能当中就会歇一下，歇个一两天。但是目前为止的计划还是每天能开尽量开。OK。Well, Red Note, their officials also come to ask me on WeChat, hey, will you still have your live stream during May holidays? And I said, yes, the current plan is yes. Okay, so wish you a lot of money. Wish you best university. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Do Chinese people like fries with mayonnaise? That's a pretty interesting question. It's not commonly seen in here. I don't see anyone who would eat fries with mayonnaise. For example, I like fries, just like pure fries. I don't like to dip fries with tomato sauce. Like some people like fries with ketchup, right? And I just like to eat fries like as long as you put enough salt on the fries, and I like that. I like that. Yeah. And let's see. You don't like earning French salary. You want a Chinese salary? What do you mean? Yeah. I want to visit China. Welcome, Alex. It would be great if you come to visit China. Why is there no William Dillard? The answer to your question is yes and no. It's not to a point that's that severe, okay? It's still okay to talk about many things. It's just you have to be very cautious when it's on social media. Okay, just when you are on social media, you have to be very cautious. However, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, okay? Yeah. Okay, sounds delicious. Now I feel for it. What feel for what, my friend? I literally ate ham, cheese, and bread when I was in France. There's so many great Chinese cuisines out there in China. Like you guys just have to have a try in here. you speak Cantonese? Yes, I do, my friend. I do speak Cantonese. Yeah. 可以讲广东话. I do speak Cantonese, but because when I started working, I worked in Hong Kong. So in Hong Kong, they speak Cantonese. So that's why I speak Cantonese. But like I don't speak very good Cantonese. Like for example, for my English, lots of people say that I don't see you have any accent. Like I feel like you have no accent. Like you speak very good English, right? And also for Mandarin, for sure, I speak very good Mandarin. And for sure, I also speak very good local Shanghainese. Like the only thing about Cantonese is that Cantonese is very hard to learn. So I do have a very strong Shanghainese accent when I speak Cantonese. Yeah. No talk, are you from Canton area? 七時蜘蛛條，蜘蛛絲，黐蛛條。樹枝怎麼講 How to say 樹枝啊？樹枝 Am I right? Okay, just did a tongue twister using Cantonese. Yeah. 树枝 Okay. Thank you for teaching me. Okay, let me try again. Okay, the Cantonese road tongue twister. Okay, 黐線蜘蛛條，蜘蛛絲黐蛛條，樹枝 Okay. Okay, Cantonese tongue twister. Okay, lots of a z to z, right? And also another very interesting Cantonese tongue twister, which is saying 什么 is it like the 什么什么各个什么唱国歌，something like I forgot the original saying, but somehow there's something saying about like sing a national song, something like that. And like basically when you hear it, it's basically like go 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 go. Oh yeah, right. Thank you, Selma. Yeah, 各個國家有各個國家嘅國歌 right? That's also a Cantonese tongue twister, right? It basically just sounds like a go 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 go, right? Yolanda, good to see you. Yeah, yeah, am I right about that? Yeah, because at the very beginning when I learned it, basically I'm just saying like go 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 ga yo go go, and they said no, it's not like that. It's not go 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 go. It's not like that. It should be like every go should be pronounced like very differently. It should be go ga yo go ga ge go something like that. Yeah, am I right? My Cantonese friend, am I right about that? Am I right about the pronunciation of every go? Yeah, sounds like sounds like a rooster, exactly. Because people here in mainland China, we also tease about that. We also tease about that. We say that okay, by saying that tongue twister, like Cantonese people just sound like a rooster. Like everyone's just like go 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 go, right? Sounds like a rooster, but that's a tongue twister. That's a tongue twister. Yeah, like a very interesting tongue twister. Yeah. No, you're wrong. You're right. What? Yeah. For 谢谢你的5分钟才艺表演。Yeah, it's a talent show, a tongue twister talent show. Yeah, that's considered to be quite interesting, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Cantonese is very hard to learn compared to Mandarin because in Cantonese they're all together I think 9 sounds. Well, is it 9 sounds or 7 sounds? Yeah. 广西壮族自治区，广西壮死四只鸡。这个是要那个广西。哎呦，这个太难了。This is too hard. Oh my god. You guys are just basically just typing in so many like tongue twister and asking me to you know your wife is laughing, right? I remember your wife is Cantonese. So she understands all the Cantonese, right? 9 sounds, right? 9 sounds, right? So altogether 9 sounds. Yeah. You can get done for animal cruelty. That's not so, my friend. That's not so. Like there are so many animal lovers. You know what? Here in China, on the street, you just notice there are so many. Actually, during the weekends, there's so many animal like people just set up all the booth, to ask people to adopt those animals. Yeah, there are many like a good animal like places, and like for example in Shanghai there's so many dog friendly places out there. Like even for a random cafe on the street, they have like a bowl out there just for doggies to drink water. So you might see some videos. However, like I said again, you're looking at a country with over 1.4 billion population, just have literally all kinds of people. So majority of people here love animals and we care a lot about animals. From time to time, I do see, for example, there's a cat out there hanging on the tree and you need someone to go up there and help this cat to come down. Like lots of people would just be there to help them. Yeah. Can I work there without knowledge? Knowing Chinese, you can, Steve, on the condition that you're able to find a job in here. So I know plenty of foreigners who are able to work in China. I know plenty of foreigners who are able to work in China, even though they don't know Chinese, as long as they're able to find a job and start in here. However, after a few years of working in here, they start to pick up some Chinese, right? Because you're exposed to a Chinese speaking environment. So generally speaking, it's hard for you to not to pick up any Chinese at all. Yeah. hmm Just learn Bulgarian. Every language will seem easier. Yeah. Good for you. Yeah. Good for you. Yeah. Okay, let's see what's the other. Oh, yeah. So someone also mentioned about this question about do we have sexism here in China, right? Okay, I forgot to answer that question. That's actually a very big topic. That's a very big topic. Okay, guys, just keep on sending your question in the comments, okay? Just keep on sending your question in the comments. I will try to reply to all the questions. However, I remember very early on, there is a question raised by one of the followers in here, which is about whether we have sexism in China. That is a very good question. And that is a question that can be elaborated a lot on. So I'm going to elaborate now for this question, okay? Mm. Sounds nice, right? Okay. I'm not so sure about sexism in some other countries, okay? So by sexism, it means like whether we have discrimination against women when it comes to working, okay? So this is a very complicated question because the answer to that question is both yes and no. There is no sexism in terms of like whether women are very welcome to work. The answer to that is yes, women are very welcome to have a job, work, to start a career. Because in China, the kind of social phenomenon we have in here is that you would notice that, Chinese people very encourage couples to go out to work to support the entire family. So for many other countries, I have actually shared before that many other countries you would see like at least one parents need to stay at home to take care of the children. The reason behind that is you don't have enough support from the rest of societies. However, in China, we have lots of support from the rest of society to raise children here. The reason behind that is, like I said, many things here in China are very affordable, right? So for a family to, you know, to have a nanny stay at home to take care of the kids, that's not something like not affordable. Is there a pay gap? Yes, there is a pay gap for sure in the society. However, like for all those like welfare kind of system is pretty affordable, right? For example, for many of the children in here, if you want to send them to kind of public schools, no matter it's public kindergartens or like baby care centers or like universities, like overall speaking, the education system, and if they are public, they are like very cheap, very affordable. So every parents can definitely just send their kids to those public schools or public children care centers. So by sending their children to be specifically taken care of in those kind of centers, then they can have enough time to focus on the work themselves. Okay. Yeah. So that's why like lots of parents then have the time to pursue a career. And also like our grandparents also play a big roles in helping raising the kids. Because for nowadays, the younger generation are all single child generation. So that's why like a lot of the kind of older generations, like for example, our parents' generation would involve heavily into the daily taking care of the babies, the children. So you will notice there are lots of parents would just come stay with the children to take care of the grandchildren or just live very close by so that whenever the children needs to go to work, then they can send their grandchildren to the grandparents for them to take care of that. Okay. So there is a huge bondage within the families to support each other. Okay. So Chinese families are like very, very close kind of family system. So we support each other, we bond very heavily with each other. So that is why, like in the China system, you would see that a lot of people are actually okay for both couples. A lot of families, a lot of couples are okay to go to work. So no matter it's men or females, both would go to work. And it's pretty also common in a company to see like a lot of women working, and people also treat women quite well if they are like good, they're very talented, they also have like promotion opportunities, they also can be allocated really good job, right? for them. And also when it comes to year end, when it comes to bonus, it comes to salaries, you would notice there is a big gap between like sex, right? It's basically just based on whether you're able to do this job right or not. So from that sense, the answer to like sexism is not really. Like women also have lots of opportunities when it comes to career development. Okay. Can you explain the social credit score system? William, we don't have that. Okay, we don't have that. That is an out loud lie. That is a lie. Okay. Short answer to that is we don't have that same thing. Okay. We have never heard about such thing called social score system. Okay. Don't have that thing. It's a total lie by the West. Okay, especially lied a lot in the U.S. and also in Germany. Yeah, we don't have that. Okay. So, have you ever lived outside China? Well, I did my master's degree in London. So, if that is considered have that thing, it's a total lie by the West. Okay, especially lied a lot in the U.S. and also in Germany. Yeah, we don't have that. Okay. So, have you ever lived outside China? Well, I did my master's degree in London. So if that is considered to be live outside China, then the answer is yes. Okay. Yeah. So back to the topic, sexism. However, when it comes to those kind of subtle points, subtle part, which is like for a woman when once they reach the age around, for example, 25 to 35, this kind of age, if this woman is still not married or still haven't had babies, then there will be some sexism. For example, like when you go to an interview, you will be constantly asked about questions like, hey, are you married? Do you have any plan to get married? Do you have babies already? Do you have plan to get married? Something like that. 他们说的可能是芝麻信用，他们说的不是这个，他们说的绝对不是这个，他们说的是另外一个东西。所以我要解释一下，不是这个，这个是一个非常 ridiculous 的一个东西。对，so for example, those kind of questions I know in the U.S. are considered to be illegal. Are considered to be illegal, and in China, we don't have that. Okay, so in China, like where we have that, we have that. Like employers can ask those kind of questions. And for example, like I said, like when I started my career, I actually work in a US firm, right? I work in a US firm. I'm very used to the kind of American firm culture. Like everything is very flat, and like, women are employers respect women. They wouldn't ask those kind of questions like, hey, do you work, do you have any plan to get married? Oh, okay. Do you have any plan to get pregnant, something like that? I'm very used to those kind of environments. So when I first returned to mainland China and found a headhunter, and headhunter asked me those kind of questions because she said employers would ask, I feel so offended, so insulted. I was like, why would they ask these questions? I consider myself to be still talented, no matter whether I'm married or not, whether I'm pregnant or not. I consider myself to be a person that you should just pay high to hire, right? You should just focus on what kind of value I bring to you rather than I'm married or not, something like that. So that's why, like, I back then I was like, so pissed off when I heard about that. So like I then I discovered that okay, in some companies, so that is, yeah, so many companies may prefer the woman who has baby already so that they do not need to pay for the maternity leave, right? And somehow, these are not very good. So by talking about that, I would consider that is also, you know considered to be like sexism, but we do have some. So the answer to overall to the question whether we have sexism, like discrimination on women when it comes to job, the answer is like very complicated. Yes and no. Yes, if you are not a woman at the age that about to have children, something like that, then you don't have a lot of discrimination. However, when it comes to that, when you're around this age, then discrimination against you. So yes and no. William, open your eyes. Okay, another person. Oh my God. So previously there's a fox. I already said that. Okay, William, again, I'm not working. Okay, I'm not working for that. I'm not working for CCP. Okay, William, I'm just an intelligent, beautiful woman here who are able to speak very good English, know a lot about China. 人气票. Yeah, yeah. Time to tap the screen to send in likes. Okay, guys, follow me, please. Follow me, please. Tap the screen to send in likes. Okay, just keep on doing that and join my team. Join my team. Okay, yeah, friends, please do that on Red Note. And while that, I need to show my temper now. Okay. William, open your eyes, okay? Okay, open your eyes. I noticed there are many new joiners coming to this live stream. First of all, welcome, and please follow me if you haven't done so. I do welcome all sorts of people to come to this live stream, but I have to let you know, you have to really be open-minded. I feel like coming to this live stream is also a pretty eye-opening experience for you guys. Okay, if you see someone who is as beautiful as I am, as intelligent I am, and who know a lot about China, that doesn't mean that I work for our government to do this live stream. Okay, and I criticize the orange guy. You know what? So many Americans criticize your orange guy. Do you call them also work for China? Anyone can have an opinion, right? Anyone can have an opinion. Oh my god. So like I'm pretty sure like American, at least one American that criticized your orange guy, right? Why wait, would you say like anyone inside America, like any American, as long as he criticized the orange guy, then that person works for China? Would you say that? Did you say that as beautiful as I am? I'm out. I say that a lot, I'm a confident woman, you know. I say that a lot. Yeah. But that's just a joke, okay? That's a just joke, okay? Yeah, just willing. You have to open your eyes, Okay. Just open your eyes. Just be open minded. Yeah, there are all different people. They want to do things for different purposes. And I ask you this, William, have you ever been to China? Have you actually stayed in China for a long? Have you ever talked to a Chinese people for a long time? Have you ever made friends with real Chinese people? If you haven't done all of that, then you have no ground to say who I am. Oh my God. Yeah, just open your eyes. Yeah, just open your eyes. They call him Russian spy. You guys are funny. Okay, so I'm not saying that the country is perfect. Okay, there are things that is not perfect about this country. However, that you know there are people in China, like we have our independent thinking, we have our critical thinking. William, by saying yes, I'm pretty sure you're lying. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're lying. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're lying. If you have done all of that, like I said, then you will not come to this conclusion like this. Okay, you will not come to this conclusion like that. Okay, you will not come to this conclusion that the fact that I am having the live stream and here, then I must for sure just work for our government, do that. I got paid by the government, hired by the government to do this. Okay, because there are plenty of like content creators out there on social media platform doing live stream. You know, okay, you yourself are doing that, William. Are you yourself practicing that? Oh my goodness, yeah. From time to time, I just meet people who are just so narrow-minded. 刚才这个主播是在干嘛？现在在骂一个很傻逼的老外，现在在骂一个傻逼老外。就直播间那边有很多老外，大部分老外都是很 nice，但是时不时会有一些很傻逼的老外说一些很傻逼的话。然后呢，刚才在骂那个很傻逼的老外。OK，yeah，yeah。Unfortunately not, but I do have a nice Chinese female friend. Mia also speaks fluent English. Okay, great. Yeah. If you have a very good friend Mia who also speaks fluent English, would you call her like working for CCP? No, you would not, right? You would not say that, my friend. Yeah. Okay. She's more than likely not working for the gov. Yeah. Okay. Oh, she's an English teacher in China. Okay. Yeah, no wonder. There are lots of like friendly Chinese people, lovely Chinese people. William 去你的. Yeah, he's in the minority. Yes, right. Yeah. Of course, there are plenty of very nice people here and in the live stream, and I really like it. And to be honest, the overall speaking, the kind of community in here are like very smart people. I can feel like lots of knowledgeable people, very smart people. People are like pretty open-minded. I have critical thinking. So from time to time, we do have like very narrow-minded people coming in, like start to just criticize me or criticize the country out of nowhere. So I do accept criticism. I'm not saying that I don't accept criticism at all. Okay, I do accept criticism, and I do accept some like very sincere kind of questions. Even sometimes those kind of questions might seem to be quite silly, I still accept that. I also say that no country is perfect, right? There are things that is not so perfect in here for sure, right? It's just that like if someone just shooting comments that is like you could clearly see this person is not thinking, they just come to a conclusion very fast, like be so judgmental, Like they don't have like those kind of critical thinking ability. They just don't think. And they don't just stay in here for long enough to hear about so many things and just come to the conclusion. Then those are the things I really hate. Okay. Those are the things that I don't really like. Okay. Yeah. So MK, I saw your question. Answer to your question, it is also true, and we cannot say about that. And to be very honest, that is also something I really hate. Okay, as a Chinese, I also hate that. Okay, that is something that we cannot say. That is right. Okay, especially on our social media platform, across all the social media profile, across all the social media platform, you need to be really cautious when talk about that kind of thing, that kind of topic. And to be honest, like many Chinese people don't like that either. Okay. Yeah. I have Chinese friends, and once you get to know them, they have a fantastic sense of humor. That is right. We do have lots of humor. So that's why, like in January, when TikTok ban happened, like so many Americans, and actually people from all over the world just flooded this Chinese app called Red Note, and there's lots of like Chinese, American, Chinese, European, Chinese, African, South American, like everywhere around the world just started to chat with each other. And also because there's a translation button out there inside the chat, inside the social media platform on the red note. So that's why like people are able to just to talk to each other freely, right? And then so like people start to notice like Chinese people do have a very, very strong sense of humor. Right. For example, like some like very handsome kind of content creators start to make videos of themselves, right? Like being so handsome, right? And somehow like so funny, like some like Chinese woman just start to send all those emojis like, hey, this is the money I want to pay you. Come spend the night with me, something like that. Like so funny. Yeah, and all sorts of different like funny emojis and funny memes, right? And like people feel like, oh my god. And also I remember back then in January on TikTok, there are also many content creators, American content creators also making videos like showing people in America like how humorous Chinese people are, and that is like terrific. Yeah. Yeah. Foxy, go to China. You will see for yourself. I did realize the lies. Yeah, right, Dali. Yeah. So when you come to China, you will notice there's so many things out there are basically just lies. Yeah, basically just lies. And to be honest, like yeah, there are so many people just brainwashed by Western propaganda. Why do you think America has been lying to us about China? Oh, I actually explained it a lot before. So, well, to be honest, like many countries just lie to their citizens about other countries, lying for some purpose. For example, for example, USA just lied a lot about China, saying that people here just treat your Americans as enemies, and also said that here people are just living a pretty bad life, a lot of those kind of lies. And also, like, we have those kind of things called social scores that everyone is evaluated by those kinds of scores. If you do good deeds, do things that the country want you to do, then you get higher scores. If you do things the country don't want you to do, then you get bad scores. If you lose a lot of scores, if your scores reach to a certain point, you're gonna just be sentenced to death, something like that. Okay, these are all just lies. Okay, these are just all plain lies. Okay, these are all lies. Okay, so it's very interesting when I first started the live stream and people asking me about this, and I was like, oh, credit system. Oh, okay. So are you talking about the credit system in the US? Oh, can you guys explain to me how does the credit system in the US about? I never realized that like people were asking me about this like score system in China. I thought people were asking me whether I know about the score system in the US because I had never ever heard about the score system in China. So when you ask me something that did not exist here in China, for sure that I don't know how to answer it. I have never heard about it. And you ask me, hey, can you tell me about something? And that something did not exist in here, right? And I was like, how can I answer you? So I didn't even comprehend. I didn't even understand that question. I didn't even understand that thing. So I said, okay, can you guys first explain to me what is the social score you're talking about? Okay, people explain to me. Then I realized, oh, okay, that is a social score you're asking. But the truth is that we don't have that such thing at all. Like I have no idea what you're talking about. And later on, explain to people. There are so many like very interesting question. And the reason why that, okay, back to the Foxy question, the reason why there are so many lies about China is because China has become one of the biggest countries. And also, like you guys have seen, like I show speed, right? I Shall Speed coming to China and have showed authentic China. Like I Shall Speed is 100% American, right? You would not say like I Shall Speed work for the government here, right? You would not say I Shall Speed work for the gov here, right? I Shall Speed 100% American, and I Shall Speed is one of the biggest KOLs out there in the US. There's no way he works for a gov here, right? So there's no way for that. So the fact that he comes here and show everyone China, that is the real China. That is just basically the real China, right? So he's showing you the authentic China. And so many people after watching I Show Speed the live stream and notice like, okay, China is pretty clean, and Chinese people are really polite, and Chinese people are very friendly to foreigners, and Chinese people do have a very interesting sense of humor, right? People realize that all that, right? So like without those kind of people showing the real China, what kind of impression you have without China? Many foreigners would have the kind of impression of China to be a very poor country, had this wrong China people that people here don't have any freedom at all, and also daughters are not treasured. Daughters are will be sent away by the family, something like that. Those like very wrong impression about here. A lot of like wrong impression about China. And just remember, like, why would they do that? The reason is so simple, because people inside your country are not living a good life. If they tell you that, you know what, other countries are not living good life, then people inside your country will feel like comfortable, right? I said at the very beginning in the live stream, I said what? I said 不患寡,患不均. People are never unhappy about the fact they are living a bad condition. People are not unhappy if they are everyone they know is living poorly. Everyone is living in a very bad status, a very bad condition. They're still okay. There's okay if every country, everyone is living pretty poorly, pretty badly. That is okay. However, if you see some other countries are living good life while your country is living a, a bad life, then that's the time you start to feel unhappy, right? People are unhappy when they see there are gaps, when they see like other people are, you know, worse, are better off than you, that you're unhappy. So that's the reason why they have told so many lies, about other countries being so bad. I'm pretty sure like the media are not only talking bad about China, they're talking bad about other countries as well. Just to make you feel that your country, America, is the best country in the world. Even though you guys are living a shitty life, you just feel like, oh, you know what? We're the best country because all the rest people out there are just living a very bad life out there. You know what? So that's why, like, even though we're living a shitty life, still that is fine because we're living better life than others. That's the reason behind that, in my opinion. Okay, that's my opinion. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, follow me please if you haven't done so. Okay, follow me please if you haven't done so. You're familiar with the mindset. Who will surrender first? To be honest, I don't think China will surrender. I don't think we will surrender. Yeah, to be honest, because you're not playing with any other boss. You're playing with this orange dude boss. So for playing with this orange dude boss, if you surrender, that's not the tactic. If you were talking about some other orange dude, then probably surrender would be a good strategy. But for this particular orange dude, then surrender is not a good strategy. It is not a good strategy. So I don't think we will surrender. Yeah. And also because nowadays you're not looking at the old China, okay? You're looking at the new China. China is very different from before. So we are very self-sufficient when it comes to many things. So if you start a war like that, I don't think the China today will be afraid of that. Yeah, I don't think the China today will be afraid of that. It's just like there's a saying in Chinese called 鱼死网破. It's just a matter of fact, like, oh, okay, if you want to die, if you want me die, okay, let's die together. I'm not just gonna say like, you know what, I don't want to die, and you know what, I'm just gonna surrender. It's not like that. It doesn't work like way that way. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, so like I said, it really depends on who's ruling. Okay, it really depends on who's the boss. Okay, so the current boss in your country is this orange dude. Then to deal with this guy, I don't think we will surrender. Yeah. If it's another guy, if you're any other boss in your history, the strategy might be different. Yeah. But for this particular guy, then yeah, so definitely a no-no. Yeah, I went to China 7 years ago. Shanghai blew me away. All the stereotypes I had in my head, right? XRP fan, right? So if you come here in Shanghai again now, you will be again have a mind blowing. experience again because Shanghai now is so different from 7 years ago. So many places like you have been to in Shanghai probably has been rebuilt. Like everything becomes so new and so different over the past 7 years. Like literally, you just notice every part of China is just being built every single day, and there are so many new tall buildings building up, and also, we have like a very big, very good city planning. So people asked me about like city planning previously. And guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. Follow me please, guys. Please follow me. Nitrous, when I go visit, can I take you and Mr. Important to dinner? Yeah, if you want to come in here, Hector, I would be very happy to greet you here. Yeah. Yeah, thanks so much for all the support. We're definitely, yeah, it should be us to take you for dinner rather than you take us for dinner. Okay. Yeah. So and also yeah, back to the topic. Yeah, so like for Shanghai, like many places in Shanghai has been built so well in here. And you know what? Every single, because like I have shared before, like we have lots of city planning, right? So every city here in China, they would have that like 5 years of planning, like 10 years planning. Also, you would have those kind of exhibition museum that shows, that is called city planning museum. You could actually, anyone can visit those city planning museum for free and can see what's the city plan, what's the planning for the city, like for different areas, what's the plan of building. For example, for the next 5 years there will be a high-speed rail that built in this area. Oh, okay, there will be a tunnel that's built in the areas. Oh, there will be this area, there will be a park built in this area. And so there's a lot of planning. So that's why nowadays, if you come to Shanghai, you will notice Shanghai is the kind of city that has a very, like, very unique kind of vibes, a very Shanghai kind of vibes. It's a very unique taste you would only see in Shanghai. So it's a mixture of like kind of, it's not like very pure Asian Chinese kind of vibes, not like Beijing, right? In Beijing, you have palace, like you have hutong, all those are like very, very Chinese. So Shanghai in history is considered to be immigrant cities. You have people from everywhere, right? You have people from other cities in Shanghai, in China. You also have lots of foreigners because Shanghai, part of Shanghai was also colonies of other countries. So Shanghai is a city like with mixture of different cultures. So that's why like it has what we call 海派文化. So overseas culture, but also some Chinese culture. So it's very interesting. It has a very unique taste and very unique vibe. So that's why like if you come to Shanghai, you would definitely feel the city is very different. Yeah. And 7 years after you visited last time, now Shanghai is even more like that. Just walk on some streets like Changledu, Juludu. These are the streets like very, very strong like Chinese Shanghainese vibes, with the very tall trees with all the leaves. Like it's beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. By Shangqi Steel for the steel frames. We work with them on the stadium in Qatar for the Cup 22. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. Shanghai has class. Yeah, I agree. I've heard rumor of a Chinese moon station a few years from now. Don't know if it's true. What do you mean by moon station, my friend? I have no idea what that is. Yeah, yeah, guys, follow me, please. Where are the most of the Shanghai foreigners from? From all sorts of countries. You do find here like a lot of foreigners. To be honest, it's very hard for me to tell like which country they are from, but I'm pretty sure there are all sorts of countries. So definitely we have Americans in here, Europeans in here a lot, and also like some African people as well. I think as well. Like, but African people are usually in Guangzhou area. In Guangzhou, not a lot in Shanghai, but we do see a lot of foreigners in here. Like, for example, yesterday after the live stream, when I went downstairs to buy breakfast, I just saw at the crossroad, like I'm of the breakfast store, there was like uh, a foreigner, a girl like riding a bicycle, just go across, a foreigner. Yeah, so lots of foreigners in here. Yeah. Hello again. As always, I appreciate your live streams on here. Thank you, Michael. Welcome, welcome. After the space station. Oh, okay, station on the moon. I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, that's an area that I have not a lot of knowledge about that. Do you think mainland Chinese chip industry can surpass TSMC within the next 5 to 7 years? Okay, that's also a topic that I don't have too much knowledge about. However, Hazaron, since you asked about that, I can share a little bit knowledge I know. Okay, so China has been developing our own chip very heavily. However, the latest advanced technology is not in China's hands. So that's why before then we discussed about like given what's going on in this world, would our 3C products be affected heavily, right? I said that the truth is if you are not purchasing those high-end kind of tech stuff, then the price will not be affected because many of the stuff has already been manufactured in China. So Chinese people are also pretty bad, a quotation bad, a bad in a way like we are very smart. So like when we have lots of foreigners would come to China, want to do business with China, right? Lots of foreigners want to come to China to do business, want to make money on this piece of land because we have so many populations. So China, as a matter of fact, what Chinese people do is that, you know what, we do welcome you to come to China to do business with Chinese people on the condition that you need to teach us your technology. You need to teach us your technology. So one of the perfect example. Oh yeah, alchemy.love. Yeah, yeah. For my friends, foreign friends, or like Chinese friend, you guys can also definitely check it out. My website, which is alchemia.love. Check this website. That is a website, my personal website, that sells all the kind of accessories that I wear, like beautiful accessory, high taste of accessories. So definitely visit that website. It's in the comment by Hoya. Yeah, guys, definitely check it out. Okay, yeah. So one of the perfect example is our high speed rail. Yeah, many people notice that China has one of the world wonder projects, which is high speed rail, right? I have shared before, right? You could actually take the high speed rail to travel from Beijing to Shanghai, which is 1,300 kilometers away, which is more than the distance between Chicago to New York, Madrid to Paris, and only takes you 4.5 hours by train. Super comfortable. We have actually shared about that before, right? We shared about that before, so we know that the high speed rail is an amazing project. So back then, when China started this project that about building high speed rail in China, we're saying that we don't have the technology of building high speed rail. Altogether, there are four companies in the world that can build high speed rail. Okay, there are four companies in the world that can build high speed rail. They have this kind of technology. So China needs to buy those kind of high speed rail from those kind of companies, those four companies. So, however, well, since China don't have the technology, China should be at a place that is considered to be not so like see the kind of inferior kind of status when it comes to the negotiation table because we don't have the technology. The four companies have the technology, right? We have to pay a lot of money to get the technology to have the trains built, right? However, back then what China did is that China was like very tough. China was like, you know what, I'm not going to pay you a lot, I'm still not going to pay you a lot of money, but you still have to sell your train to us. So back then one of the company is Siemens. Siemens actually has the best technology, but they were also very tough. They were like, you know what? I'm not gonna sell you at a price that you asked for because I want to sell you at a way more expensive price. And China is saying like, no, if you want to do that price, then I'm not gonna do this deal with you. So instead, like China turned to another French company, and it was so funny. The moment that China revealed the deal that China will do the high speed rail deal with the French company instead of the Siemens, the German company, and Siemens, the headquarters, just fired the entire Siemens team on the site before they were able to got onto the plane to fly back to their own country. It was so funny. So, however, China was also like pretty smart in a way that we said that, you know what, if you want to make the money by building your high speed rail here in China, you have to work with our local companies. You have to teach us the technology. So of course, still like those companies were able to make lots of money by building all the high speed rail. After a few years, China was able to learn all the technologies. So that's why nowadays you see all the high speed rail here in China. Many of them are domestically made because we learned all the technology. Yeah. What's it, the toast building in Shanghai? What do you mean by toast? TOLES. What is this word? That is the first time I see this word. Shocking. This is why building positive relationships with other countries is important. Yeah, yeah. So building positive and relationship with other countries is very important, right? So like well, it's about building positive relationships, but at the same time it's also doing business. It's also doing business. China is the biggest market. China is the biggest manufacturing country. At the same time, we're also the biggest market. We're the biggest market in a sense that we have so many people, right? If you're able to sell a pair of shoes to every single Chinese, you're able to sell 1.4 billion pair of shoes, and just imagine how much money you're able to earn from that, right? So definitely lots of opportunities out there. Yeah, That's great. Not surprised. It's been a disheartening couple of months. What happened to you, Michael? Yeah, I hope everything is going on well. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Will China have multiple Toyota level EV companies? I do think so. I do think so. Eventually, China will have like Toyota level EV companies. It's just that globally nowadays, like many countries are unfriendly to the Chinese EV, because the moment China starts to expand its market with our very great EV, high tech EV, very fancy EV, good design EV, but with at low costs, it's just going to eat in the market share of other countries, right? I have shared before, in Europe, like lots of European countries are considered historically to be the kind of countries that is very strong at manufacturing cars, right? So the fact that China is expanding our market at such a fast speed globally is going to eat their market share. There's just that many people out there who would buy new cars and drive new cars, right? The market is just there. It's not a growing market. It's just a market, right? Car owners, the number of car owners and car buyers are just out there. It's a fixed market. So like for people who wants to expand the market, then it means that like once some people are expanding the market, some people's market are shrinking. So the fact that Chinese EV car companies are expanding the market so aggressively is also causing some like other countries are losing the market share, and that would also cause like lost kind of problems in those countries. So that's why like some other countries are being so unfriendly to China's EV brand. Yeah, to China's EV brand. So also, I guess it's also because of data collection. Data collection. When you have all those Chinese cars driving on the land of other countries, probably they just fear that, we are just gonna collect the data, the transportation, lots of data. So I guess that's also the kind of reason behind why, for example, US banned all those Chinese EV cars. Yeah. So pretty unfair kind of um, competition, but I do believe eventually, China's EV car companies will be unstoppable. Will be unstoppable. Their business will just be built across the globe. To be honest, because right now the China market is not saturated yet. That's why like they focus a lot on getting the market share here in China. So more and more people are now starting to buy EV cars because you get lots of subsidies, and also when it comes to technology, though, and also comes to designs, their EV cars are pretty more fancier than those kind of traditional cars. So they are right now, the major focus is about competing inside China, how to take up the market shares in China. However, once the China market is saturated, I'm pretty sure those EV companies will just go to the world, expand across the globe, because that's what happened back then about the phones, right? At the very beginning, iPhone, those kind of phone, Motorola, all the phone are just like foreign brands. So then some Chinese phone brands comes up, right? Start to take away the market share inside China. So you should start to see all sorts of different like Chinese phone brands, right? Then after a while, afterwards, you start to see like they once they have eaten all the market share in China, right? Lots of Huawei, right? Xiaomi, Oppo, these are like really famous Chinese brands. When they have already taken lots of market shares in China, the market here is pretty much saturated. What they would do, then they start to expand overseas. That's why like you would see like lots of Europeans are start to use Huawei phones, right? Indian people start to use Xiaomi phone. So I believe the same thing would happen to EV cars as well. Once they have finished getting the market share here in China, then they would expand globally to other countries very aggressively. And then that's when you start to see like the Toyota level of Chinese EV car brands. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would happen eventually one day. Yeah. Yeah, you guys were in circles around pretty much everyone with EVs. Yeah, every YouTuber I saw try the Chinese EVs wanted one. Yeah, the Chinese EV are pretty fancy, pretty fancy. So like you have all the voice control system inside this car, like you could just voice control everything, and also like the design is like for example inside the car is pretty spacious, very comfortable, and still the price of the EV car is like very affordable. So EV car is a huge thing here in China. Yeah, smart. Mexico is very smart to accept EV cars from China. Yeah. What EV cars are they driving on there? Yeah, China BYD is the best cars in the world. Yeah, BYD. Yes, like BYD cars is pretty good. Lots of Chinese people buy BYD cars. Yeah. And guys, follow me please. Okay, follow me please if you haven't done so. Follow me please if you haven't done so. Okay. Speed had to buy his Chinese EV and send it to his home in Portugal. Wait, Speed is from Portugal? Oh, so he has a home in Portugal. It's not saying that he's from Portugal. Yeah. Yeah. So if possible, you guys can definitely try EV. Coming to China, just try the EV cars, okay? So there are plenty of EV car shops. And here, even in those like large shopping malls on the ground floor, you would notice there are EV car shops that you could just go there and have a try of driving yourself, right? Even though you're not buying a car, just have a try of that. Just try come to China. So making it one of the kind of thing you want to do, like just try the EV cars in here. Just go into a big shopping mall. In their ground floor, there are like EV car shops. I just have a try. Yeah, he can't import them to the US. That's right, he cannot. Yeah, he tried so many. Yeah, yeah. So is it possible to BYD in China and ship it back to the US? I don't think so. You cannot ship it back to the US. So that's why like someone here on Rednote is saying that Speed, I show Speed, is buying a Chinese EV car and have it shipped to Portugal because he cannot have it shipped back to US. Yeah, cannot ship it back to the US. Are the EV companies being subsidized or incentivized in some way to keep prices low? Yes, they are. So right now in China, and guys, follow me please, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so. How many of you guys have followed me? If you haven't followed me, definitely follow me there, okay? Yeah. So you know what? Like EV cars, so it is like the national strategy from many years ago that the EV car industry is going to be the major industry that here in China that we will focus a lot of building. So that's why there are a lot of subsidies that are there are a lot of subsidies by the country to the EV car companies. At the very same time, there's lots of like subsidies to us like consumers who wants to buy EV cars as well. Okay, so if we buy cars here in China, then we also have subsidies for that. So that's why, like for example, like when we buy EV cars, the money we pay is lower than buying gas car, and also because of that, all the like traditional fossil fuel cars also had lots of price drop in here. And also CarPlate, I have said a lot of times before that the CarPlate, the car license, is very expensive in here in China. For example, a CarPlate can be, the cost of a CarPlate itself can be one third of the price of a car. So it can be like super expensive. However, when it comes to EV car, right? If you purchase an EV car, the CarPlate is gonna be like very, very cheap. So still lots of subsidies going on because we do want the EV industry to be going up. And several reasons. First of all, that's a good strategy. If you're able to build this EV car then industry, then that's a way that China is going to have a new industry, leading industry in the world that makes this country to be stronger, right? Economically stronger, right? And second thing is that China also has this carbon emission target, right? By 2060, we'll have to reach zero carbon emission. So if you have so many fossil fuel cars running out on there on the street, then there's no way you're able to meet that target. You only need to have all the people start to drive EV cars, then you could reach this zero emission kind of carbon emission kind of target, right, by 2060, I think. So those are all the reason behind all that. Yeah, 我支持中国产品，可以，很好，我们都支持国货啊。How advanced is the God's Eye self-driving system? I feel like it still needs to be trained, still needs to be tested. You still just hear lots of accidents of people just using the autopiloting system instead of driving themselves. So that's why, like, I feel like still need to wait a bit till this technology to be a bit more advanced. Okay, yes, time is up. Okay, guys, for those of you who haven't followed me, definitely follow me. Okay, love your content. If you really like my content, follow me. Okay, follow me for sure, my friend. And it's lovely to see all of you guys today. Just so you guys know that I usually have my live stream from 7:30 to 9:30. No matter what time is it at your place, it's usually starting from 2 hours before now. Okay, I usually start my live stream 2 hours before now till now. Okay, so that's the usual time I start I start my life. 有政治目的，小心怎样回答？好的，谢谢你的提醒，我会的。OK，so that's why like guys follow me please. Okay, and I will have my live stream again tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Okay, I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. And so for those of you who wants to watch this replay, if you think this is a pretty interesting live stream, if you want to watch the replay, just so you know, I also have a account on YouTube which is called Nytrix 456, and also on Bilibili for Chinese friends, also called Nytrix 456, with the very same profile photo. Okay, with the very same profile photo. So if you want to watch the replay of it, can just follow me there on YouTube 456 Nytrix 456, Bilibili Nytrix 456, and that's where you're able to watch the replay of the live stream. Okay. Yeah, so thank you so much for everyone to come into the live stream, and I look forward to see you again tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.